if you don't have enough income or savings, you could still buy properties. And the one way that you could do that is known as shared ownership. So what is shared ownership? Shared ownership is where you buy a part of a property and then you pay rent on the difference. So let's say a property is worth £150,000. You could pay £50,000 for part of the property and pay rent on the other balance of the property. And then over time, you could then buy the remaining share. So it's a bit like staircasing. So it's a bit like buying properties in bits and in bobs. That's what shared ownership is. And this is designed not just for first-time buyers, but for people who previously owned property could be part of this share. So you're going to have two ownership. You own part of the property and your landlord will own part of the property. And you pay rent for that part of the property you don't own. Now, these are the advantages of shared ownership. The first thing is that it gives you security of tenure. What that means is once you buy the property, even though you're paying rent, it's very difficult for the landlord to kick you out because you also own a proprietary benefit in that property. So that's one advantage. Second advantage is even though you're paying rent, you're paying a reduced rent because you're not paying rent for the 100% value of the property, only a percentage of the property you don't own. So shared ownership has that main advantage. It has what's known as staircasing. Now staircasing means you buy 25 or 30% of the value of the property, you then buy another 25%, and the next year buy another 25%, until over time you own the 100%. And that's known as staircasing. So those who argue they don't have money to buy properties, it's just that you don't know. There are strategies that are out there for you that you could use to own property. Let me just quickly list out a few disadvantages with share ownership that you need to know, but it doesn't stop the strategy being wonderful, but you ought to know. The first is that you're going to be paying mortgage for the part of the properties that you own, so make allowance for that. You'll be paying rent. You also will be paying service charge and ground rent. So there's for the disbursement that will be coming out of your income, which is mortgage payment, the rent, the ground rent, and service charge. So do your maths if you're using the shared ownership strategy. But overall, it's a way to climb the property ladder. So I'm Gordon Okri. Follow me for more.